Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light, hit that light. Oh, you're at Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Grab a seat, grab your feet. Let's sip some tea, sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Come on in now. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah, yeah. Come on in and hit that like, don't forget now. Auntie Mickey's house. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Grown talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house, make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh, yeah. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. Auntie Mickey's house, that's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. On in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in and hit the light. Hit the light, hit the light. You're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light, hit that light. Oh, you're at Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Grab a seat, grab your feet. Let's sip some tea, sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Come on in now. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah, yeah. Come on in and hit that like, don't forget now. Auntie Mickey's house. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Grown talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house, make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh, yeah. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. Auntie Mickey's house, that's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. On in the house. You know you're in the house. grab a seat. Come on in and hit the light, hit the light, hit the light. You're at Auntie Mickey's, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's, Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house.
Good afternoon. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I hope everybody is in good spirits today. I'm glad it's Monday and not, Monday is the first day of the week. Anyhow, I hope everybody is having a good day thus far. Let's see, who do we have up in the house right now? Because I done poured the coffee. I done poured the coffee and the juice. Let me put on some music so everybody can chill. Because we're going to discuss some stuff today. I know people probably getting tired of Charlie Kirk. But I can't help but wonder what is really, really going on in this thing. What is really, really going on with this thing? How you doing, Barbara? Hi, Mama Purple. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Catherine. Hello, Mr. Phillips. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello, Fonda, my earth angel. Hello, Don. Let's see. Who else is in here? Okay. We got a little bit of a group going on. Yeah, it's getting deep. It's getting deep up in that thing right there. You know, I'm looking side-eyed at that wife. I'm looking real side-eyed at that wife. You know, I mean, I know most of us in here have lost somebody. But did we move on this quick? Very, very suspect. Very suspect. You know, I hear tell that she's threatening to sue YouTubers that are talking. Come on with it, baby girl. Because, look, you in America, baby girl, we have freedom of speech. And if it look a certain way, we can say what we feel. Am I right? Now, if you don't want to get talked about, hey, TT, you like the revamp? Thank you, TT. You know, if you ain't acting no suspect, then we wouldn't look at you suspect. But you acting awful suspect from day one. You know, and everybody gave her grace. You know, everybody has a different way of grieving. I understand that. But, you know, that's starting to play out. Because the behavior is moving away from grief into excitement. Isn't that the word she used? I mean, I'm so excited about how we're going to move on with everything. Hi, Retretta. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Happy birthday to you, Retretta. Happy birthday to you, Retretta. Happy birthday, Retretta. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Yeah, you know, she's really acting real funny style. And here, I have a question ain't nobody else asked. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong for saying this. She sure do got a lot of time for the cameras now, don't she? Where the kids at? Did the children just not lose a father? Hello, down south Stitcher. Did the children not just lose a father? And you out here doing the most, filling them shoes, that have suddenly been emptied, and now your tiny little feet have stepped into them shoes with so much excitement. Okay, Retreader, was I mistaken? Is it your birthday, baby? Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard a little voice told me that it was your birthday. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I'll still sing happy birthday to you. Retreader's my girl. But yeah, I just, we just want to know. We just want to know. Everybody else seems to be going hard in the paint to find out what happened to your husband. Oh, your birthday is the 14th? Ooh, wee, Barbara. Well, you know what? Happy early birthday. I thought it was today. I'm mistaken. But you just got an early song, and you'll get another one on the 14th. See, that's what I get for jumping the gun. Yes, that's where I saw it. Okay, well, just wanted to let you know, we paying attention. We are paying attention. But yeah, I was just curious. Where are the children in all this? Why aren't you home with your children, spending time, filling that void? They just lost their father. And you're out on the what's the name of that thing again? Turning point. You on the turning point tip. Hello, Millionaire's Cove. I just think that's odd. And we're going to look at some other things that have been pointed out publicly. Not just about her, but about the whole Turning Point team. Why was everybody so quick to jump on a crime scene and start taking things away? Things that you would think would stay right there for the FBI to search, for police to start searching for that matter. Where was the police to secure that crime scene off? Where were they? I hear tell they only had 6 security people on duty for this man at a crowd that size. Oh, please. Well, honey, she ain't got to look at this YouTuber unless she want to collect my $2.50. And that ain't just off of her husband. That split up a bunch of whole other topics. So she can check my boots on the ground. She ain't gonna find no boots. They may not even be on the ground. They might be under the table, under the bed, in the closet, on a shelf somewhere. Getting paid on her husband's death. Let's see if you getting paid on your husband's death. Let's flip that script. I'm sure you are. Your husband was a millionaire, and your family alone got plenty. Don't worry about us little YouTubers over here. Don't worry about us little YouTubers over here. I'm probably, you know what, Retreader, you're probably right. And they sucked. Their security sucked. Your 6 people didn't do anything but mess up the crime scene. Anybody that looks at those videos after the fact, after that man was shot, will see just how much that crime scene was tampered with. Furthermore, there is currently construction going on that campus in that very spot right now. Yes, they removed that back camera and the other two back cameras next to it. I know that's right, Mr. Phillips. Shoot, she worried about what YouTubers are getting paid. What are you getting paid, baby girl? Because now you done taken on the big dog spot with your corny acting. My grandson can act better than that. You're not even convincible or convincing. Exactly. They are performing construction as we speak on that spot. You're talking about hiding evidence. Cement, you're laying cement and building construction on the very site that this took place. Hello, Carmela. Ain't nobody stupid. Hey, Camille. Ain't nobody stupid, wasn't born yesterday. Anybody can see with one eye, let alone two. Shoot, Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles can see this. Exactly, Retretta. You would think you would want people to get to the bottom of what happened to your husband unless you on the wrong side. They flagged you again? Stop, Mr. Phillips. Why? On slots? Wait a minute, that don't sound... Mr. Phillips, you just doing slots, right? Oh, I'm sure she know what really happened, Millionaires Go. Look, do we need to rewind? Can we rewind the tape? The ages. No, you know what? You can dispute. File, Mr. Phillips, I had to do the same thing. They put an age category on mine. Okay? They put the age restriction on mine, and I appealed it, and they had to back that out. Just appeal it. They will review it, because what they have bots that look at these videos and arbitrarily just decide, okay, well, that's not appropriate for kids. But unless you marked it specifically inappropriate for kids and just marked it for public, you're fine. Go ahead and appeal it, and I can guarantee you they will back it up. They'll back that out. I don't know, Retretta. I don't know the spelling, but I thought it was Erika as well. Did I mess up? I don't think I put her name in here. Who knows? But yeah, Mr. Phillips, go ahead and appeal that. You should be okay. Are you monetized yet, sir? Not that it's my business, but I'm just curious. Because if you're monetized, you definitely want to get that appealed. Okay, well then they shouldn't have a problem. They will just appeal it, and they'll back that out. They'll back it out and put it back to normal. They did that a couple nights ago. The last night that me and Jess went, they marked that as 18 and over specifically. And I was like, no, wait a minute. I hit appeal, and within about 6 hours, it was back to normal. So you should be fine. They have to get humanized to look at it. But if you don't appeal it, they'll leave it that way. So I hope that helps you out. So getting back to this Charlie Kirk rabbit hole, I've got a few things that I've been looking at all weekend. You're so welcome, sweetheart. Very welcome. If I can help in any kind of way, I will. I do. Hi, LaWanda. How you doing, sweetie? You know what? I'm done smoking. Let me put my face back up here. You know I don't smoke on camera. Hello, Kendra. How are you? How are you doing? You know what? It's time for a couple of Tylenol because I'm about to develop a headache with this. Oh, Barbara. Oh, God. My condolences to you, sweetheart. That's hard. That's hard. That first year. It really is, LaWanda. It's ridiculous. And people are getting desensitized with it. And I'll be the first to say I was no fan of Charlie Kirk. I didn't know that man from Adam until all this happened. And then I started looking at some of the video that they had on him and some of the things that he was saying. And I'm like, wait, what? You a man of God and this is how you talking about black people? No, man. But I don't condone anybody being taken out like that. Even though the Bible does say if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But it would be more than a notion. It would just be awful to just stand by. That mother is black that offed her kids this weekend in the car. Oh my God. I didn't hear about that. No, I haven't, Barbara. I haven't had a chance to. I've been entangled with this rabbit hole. Did you have anything you wanted to share, Barbara? You want to come up and share something about Romika? Of course he didn't. He didn't care about us, though. Somebody tried to put some stuff out saying, oh, yeah, he loved black folks. He had some pictures when he was in high school with some black folks. Okay. I seen slave owners standing next to their slaves when they took pictures, too. 2 lived and 2 in stable condition. Jesus. That is awful, LaWanda. I need to get up off of this Charlie Kirk thing. I'm going to get this out of my system eventually. Oh, no. It doesn't surprise me, though. It doesn't surprise me. Trump got that to get our vote. Oh, goodness. Me too, Mr. Phillips. Me too. I look at it the lesser of 2 evils. Yes, Alabama's another. Oh, wait. It's just too much going on. It really is. There's so much. It's very overwhelming, actually, trying to keep up with everything. I appreciate when you guys send me videos and stuff. It's a real slow man. It's a real slow man trying to do it so nobody believes him. Oh my goodness, well, I tell you, it's hard to keep up with it all. It really is. So anything that you guys send me, I really appreciate it. I just have to get on top of things and get into these emails and, because I'm also dealing with the daycare situation. Nothing bad, but I still have to I came up into compliance. They nitpick over little dumb stuff. So I had to go out and have my fireplace inspected for the first time in 15 years. That orange orangutan needs to be made to step. I've been tired of him. Sleepy tired. But yeah, between the daycare and YouTube and grandkids and husband, I'm trying to wear all these hats. And some places lack when I don't want it to. So if I don't get to your emails in a timely fashion, please charge it to my head, not my heart. No, I didn't hear about that, Mr. Phillips. You see what I'm saying? There's so much going on. I can't keep up with it all. And it takes people such as yourself. Oh my goodness. My email is still messed up. I'm going to have to make a new one. I hate to because I've had this email for over 20 years. You know what? You may have to do that, Barbara. Hi, Serene. How are you, love? Good to see you. Oh my goodness. Well, I believe it, Lawanda. That's awful. Man, oh man. Well, let's get started here. I don't even know where to begin. I've got so much to show you. I really do. Let's see. What is this one? Okay. I'm going to start with this first one. This came from a gentleman who has a channel here called Crowdsource the Truth 11. Crowdsource the Truth 11. And he does this kind of work for a living. So we're just gonna go over some of this. We don't have all night to go over all this, but we have time to go over some of this. So let me share this screen. I hope I'm starting with the right one. And I will turn down the music. Welcome to the rebellion. Okay, here we go. Did I share my screen? Yeah, add to stage. Here we go. And let me flip myself around so I can react properly. I can look the right way instead of this way. Away. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Charlie Kirk was not shot from the front, but from the back. Jason Goodman from Crowdsource The Truth says Charlie Kirk was shot from behind using a low muzzle velocity projectile. He's willing to debate anyone, by the way, who thinks that he's wrong.
So in other words, he's saying this was not from a GUN. Amen, Serene. We got the creator. We've seen so many of these videos, but each one exposes something different. Each one exposes something different. I'm sure you see this guy with the camera here. There's another one over here somewhere, and there's one way up here behind him that got everything. So we're going to check this out for a while.
So we are an open platform here at Redacted. We will.
He also says that he was not pow-powed with a GUN. It was a air-compressed projectile, I believe is what he said. Something similar to what you would see in blow-up balloons. You know, those little cartridges that you can use to put helium. Yes, Retretta. 5 cameras. Where they at? Yes, Mr. Let Go. I've been watching him too. Honey, they have been on his behind. Oh my God. Yes, baby, I did. I came on early. I'm trying to stick to the 4 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock. I thought I told you that. My bad. So, yeah, Mr. Let Go, YouTube is really giving him the blues, to the point where he had to open a Patreon just so he can speak without being penalized. And here we are in America. Freedom of speech, I guess that don't help. That don't apply to this. Yeah, they want to put look, I'm pretty confident in saying that Tyler didn't do this. I'm gonna put my neck on the line and say I don't believe Tyler did this. I do not believe it. With everything that I have seen, I love you too, sweetheart. With everything that I have seen on all these different videos, and these are not touched up videos, this is raw footage. Everything that I've seen and everything that took place right before and immediately after was nothing but chaos, especially after. It's a crime scene. But you know what, Barbara? YouTube keeps demonetizing his videos. His video from last night got demonetized. So he ain't making no money. He ain't making no money off of this. And I'm pretty sure, from what I understand, they messing with Candace too. So YouTube don't want people talking. Don't be surprised if this video gets popped like it did before in the middle of the live stream. Y'all remember that? When I had those black preachers up here speaking about Charlie Kirk? Absolutely, Barbara. And he's got a decent sized platform, but he's not huge. He's not that huge. So, you know, if they going after him, they going after everybody. They came after me last week or week before last. They stopped one of my lives midstream because of the content that I was playing. Exactly, Mr. Phillips. I had 4 preachers, 4 black preachers, speaking about Charlie Kirk and how they, did not want him. They weren't proponents for him being unalive, but absolutely, Barbara, they want her out of the picture. But she's got the ball rolling, and she's proven a big point. Exactly, Retretta. Absolutely. Hello, Michelle. See, they don't want to get sued either. CK, yes, thank you, Use Wisdom. And I'm going to call her CO. She's not scared of him, Barbara. She's not scared at all. So I just wanted to let y'all know, in case you guys didn't hear, that the latest theory is that wasn't even a something that you put inside. Hi, Ellen. How are you, sweetheart? It wasn't really bullets. It was an air compression thing. But this rabbit hole is so deep. Yeah, they canceled Jimmy Kimmel. You see, they had to bring him back, though. They had to bring him back. And all of this, in my opinion, this is just my own humble opinion. I didn't hear this from nobody else. I think that this situation is yet another distraction away from Epstein. Because think about it. If those Epstein files ever got out, it ain't just Trump we got to worry about being on that list. Absolutely, Michelle. It ain't just Trump on that list. That's right. Playing us all right in our faces and using the law to do it. Well, according to law enforcement, they the ones lying too. They lie. In this particular case, they are definitely lying. Let me ask a question. It's definitely bigger than Trump Millionaire's Code. Epstein, that situation. Now, that man has been dead for how long? Since I hear they might give Maxwell. Oh, no, they denied her, Mr. Phillips. Slapped it down like a 1970s pimp. Pow! Smacked it down. Yes. Yes, Barbara. Well, they definitely said no to her. That's true, use wisdom. That's true. But those Epstein files, if the names on that thing come out, ain't no telling whose name is on there. Who we talking about? Epstein? Or I ain't saying nothing. Anyway, let me move on. But I got a question. Have you ever heard of a Miss America pageant entry winning the first pageant they've ever entered into? Because Erica, she was in the pageants. And I hear tell she won Miss America. Yeah, Dawn. She was a pageant member. He ran the pageants. He owned the pageant. And she was one of the contestants. And I hear tell she won. Now, I'm just going to say allegedly because my source might be incorrect. They might be wrong. Okay? But you see how she hugged up on him at the funeral? Or should I say that what looked like a campaign with pyrotechnics and all the hoopla going on. I've never seen fireworks at a funeral, but I guess. Absolutely. Not to mention Erica's parents. Yes, at the time, Mr. Phillips. I heard tell that she won the very first time she entered. How's that happen? I thought you had to, work your way up at least. Been in a couple other pageants before you just win Miss America. Oh, yeah, that Romania stuff. She did win. Okay. I wanted to make sure I had that straight on that runway. What do they call it? A plant? Was that a deliberate hookup? Was that? I'm sorry, I'm just speaking my mind. Who am I to speak my mind in America? Shame on me. I'll let this man speak instead. Yeah, Miss Arizona. I believe it. I believe she was sent there to, solidify that union. You know what I mean? Anyway. Oh, worked more like Madonna. For real, Michelle. Not a virgin. Not like the very first time. Okay, I'm going to stop. Y'all, we here. We here.
Welcome all ideas and conversation. And we wanted to have Jason on the show so he could show us his evidence and have a dialogue with him. Jason, welcome back to the show.
This guy is smart.
Thanks for having me back, Clayton. Good to see you again.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay, so again, maybe we go back to for people who are just new to this story, I guess, like what is the official story? And then what does your evidence, you say, show us?
Of course, the official story is that Tyler Robinson fired a high-powered rifle, 30-06 round, a supersonic rifle round that has a tremendous amount of kinetic energy. Everybody who is an expert in ballistics and hunting, which I am not, but all of the experts that I observe say this type of round would make a huge blowout even in a much larger animal than a human. You shoot a deer in the neck. People have tested it on cow thighs and things like that. And there should have been a tremendous blowout in the exit wound.
Y'all is cutting up in the chat. Serene is talking about Firestarter. That little girl in her eyes. Yes, they do remind me of hers. It was a good movie. And then Fonda, she comes back with ain't nothing like working your way up. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's hi Lisa. How are you? Okay, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good, y'all. You know, I do have to stop the videos and stuff, so YouTube won't be tripping. So I may not even say something about the video. I might just talk to y'all. It's a strategy to my strategy.
And so people have presumed that the small hole that we see in the front of Charlie Kirk's neck, that he bleeds out of in a very disturbing way in a lot of the videos that people have seen, that is an entry wound, because entry wounds from rifle rounds are small, exit wounds are large. And of course, we have a lot of people who have audio waveform analysis, acoustic triangulation, that they can do these so-called crack thump calculations where they're measuring the differential between the explosive charge that launches the projectile out of the gun and the sound of the bullet actually breaking the sound barrier. I'm also not a math expert. I can't directly challenge the calculations that experts make in that. I just don't do the math. But it's important to remember, Clayton, that whoever it is that did this, they have a lot of information about the public.
Yes, they do have a lot of information about the public. Hi, Ann. How are you doing? I often wish I had the brain of one of these cats up here to be able to decipher these different, things. But, plain and common sense as well is necessary when looking at a situation like this. And I think the longer we've been here and the more that we've seen, Exactly, Barbara. He'd never been there. And I looked at those pictures of that individual walking up that staircase, and I looked at the comparison side by side. That is not the same person. That is not the same person. If you take a hard look at those facial features, the one walking up that staircase had a much longer nose and thinner chin area. His face was more elongated. I just got off topic. Moving on.
In 1963, when John F. Kennedy was assassinated, we can debate on another day whether Abraham Zapruder was there by chance or planted there by the FBI. A lot of people have different opinions on that. But there was basically one guy that we know of in the crowd running silent film, 16 millimeter, 8 millimeter, whatever it was, even if there's 3 or 4 films. We don't have multiple high resolution audio recordings. People didn't have access to digital waveform analysis. All of these things are available today. So we saw a similar occurrence in Butler, Pennsylvania, in that there was an assassination attempt involving a high-powered rifle. And I believe it was Mike Adams, the health ranger. He was the first guy I saw. I didn't know anything about this type of crack thump triangulation analysis, but he did a very comprehensive video. And certainly now, most people know that that can be done. And if this is a complex conspiracy, we should anticipate that the conspirators would anticipate that public investigations would include this type of analysis, and they would want to bake into the cake, as it were, some method of fooling people who would.
Okay, Barbara, I understand what you're talking about now. Barbara said the party they started to get rid of Obama at Fonda, it had a lot of the new Congress members in it. Think they might be on that list. You never know. JFK was assassinated in what, 1960? Was it 68? Or I know Martin Luther King was assassinated in 68. Serene, I think he's just scared. 63. So yes, I was 1. I was 1. But I remember when MLK died. Wow.
Do this analysis, and what I'm about to show you guys explains how that happened, explains why the shot did not come from the front. And I was just watching earlier today, Dr. Chris Martenson has a new video out where he's explaining more about what he thinks happened. He does rely in some of his research on the crack thump triangulation calculations, but he had a question that he couldn't answer that I'm going to answer for you, Clayton, and Natalie, and all of your viewers here today.
All right. And, I should point out yesterday, Rob O'Neill, the man who killed Osama bin Laden, is on the record now saying that right from the very beginning, none of it made sense to him. And he's shot people in the face. He's like, this story is not making... Anyway, I've never shot anyone in the face. So Rob O'Neill has a vast experience doing that. He knows all too well what that looks like. Okay, so let's walk through what you have here and what you say is irrefutable evidence that the shot did not come from the front.
Yeah, and
I think we all kind of came up with that conclusion as well. I might be wrong, but didn't we already come up with that conclusion? If it had happened from the front, then there would have been a lot of activity going out in the back. I'm trying to be, I'm trying to have some kind of savvy about what I say on YouTube. Let's just say it would have been a mess. It would have been ugly. It would have been really ugly. But I hear tell that there was no blood carrying him out of there. Where was the blood at? I hear you, Mr. Phillips. Hi, Jess. Jess is here in the chat, working and listening. Yes, use wisdom. Yes. But we dumb, we stupid, we don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. Some of us haven't lost loved ones due to, that kind of activity where people are unalived with a metal thing that blows something out that can, explode in your body. Okay, Michelle. Well, thanks for stopping by, sweetheart. If you can make it back, please do. Not a spot of blood on him. Not a spot, Barbara. But then I seen an AI video that had blood just pouring out of that hole. And it was clearly AI. So, gotta have sense enough to know what's real and what's not. I think we in this chat, we are all we're seasoned people. We got good sense. And we can call shit when we see it.
To be clear, I'm not saying that I know more than people who have that type of firsthand experience. I don't need to have firsthand experience shooting people or studying ballistics to just observe all of the professionals who do have that experience. Rob
Yes.
O'Neill, Chris Martinson, Zeb Boykin, all these other, Range Day Bro, all of these guys who do have a lot of experience. I see the experts disagree. And that causes me to believe that we're looking at something novel. So let me show you this. This is the video that I am relying upon, and this is a composite image that I created in Adobe Photoshop. Now, to be clear, I didn't create any of these dots. These are all derived from original video frames from two different versions of the same video. Zeb Boykin is a U.S. Marine and now a citizen journalist, a YouTuber, a podcaster. And he came to my attention very early in this investigation. He was doing ballistic analysis and he went viral.
Yes, Fonda. The video that I saw online, yes, you could see the blood gushing. That was actually AI. Because according to Candace and others that were literally present there was no blood. Absolutely serene. Hi, Discerning 8. We've got people that were literally there on the scene. There was no blood on the hands of security that dragged him out of there. Yeah, I believe it used wisdom. That AI is no joke nowadays. It makes a lot of things look real, but it's not. Now, some people can use AI as an excuse. Oh, no, that wasn't the case. That was AI. We know who plays that game. I'm not going to say that person's name here. But, I mean, it can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. In this particular case, there was no blood according to people that were there on the scene.
And I saw him on Owen Schroyer's show, and Owen and I had the same immediate reaction to seeing this video. It was substantially higher quality than really almost any of the other videos that we've seen. Even in Chris Martinson's evaluation, he says some of these videos look like they were shot on a potato. This one exhibits characteristics that cause me to believe that it came from the original videographer from...
So you know what I'm saying, Barbara. You saw him carrying him out to the SUV. Number one, why wasn't there ambulance there on standby for a crowd that size? Why did they have to pounce on him and carry him out of there? That could have been the very thing that took his life. Where were the EMTs? 6 security people for a crowd that big. 6. Yes, exactly, Discerning 8. There's a whole lot of unanswered questions that make entirely no sense. And it makes it look like.
Their phone. And by that I mean.
It makes it look like they didn't want him to make it. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's the case. But it made it look like they were trying to prevent him from making it. Exactly. Who knows? Use wisdom. I would, you know what? Nothing would ever surprise me in today's day and age. And the question is, if that's the case, why? Oh, absolutely, Discerning 8. But I don't know if it's a real unalivement or is it a fake unalivement. I don't know. But it was certainly intentional. Somebody planned for him to not show his face in public again. Exactly, Mr. Phillips. Where were the EMTs? They had EMTs on the property prior to this thing going down. Where were they? Why were random people allowed to jump up there into that area, which is then considered a crime scene, and start taking down cameras, tampering, standing on the very chair that he was sitting in? It just amazes me. One cat stood on that very chair to take down that one camera that was positioned over the back of him, behind him, overhead. Thank you, Discerning 8. Listen, if my husband went out like that, hell, it wouldn't even have to be like that. If my husband lost his life right then and there, and I'm going to go on TV in a couple of days, are you kidding me? I wouldn't be able to get out the bed. And I don't want to hear no mess about, oh, people grieve differently. No, boo-boo. Where the kids at? You still a mama. Exactly, Barbara. See, a lot of people ran and they jumped into position and did what they had to do before law enforcement could get there. And now they're pouring construction. They're doing construction on the very spot that it happened to cover up any other further evidence that might be there. Point blank, period. She dabbing one eye. Last I heard, when you cry out of both eyes. As a mother, you would be surrounding your children and protecting them from all of this. One eye. I'm gonna call her One Eye Erica. She need an eye patch to cover up that other eye that she don't dab. Oh, and we gonna talk about that old man too. How is it that that same old man has been in 3 other, some of the most sinister things that have happened in this country? He happened to be there. Starting with, 9/11, the Boston Marathon, and the Oklahoma City bombing? He just happened to be there at those occurrences. How does that happen?
It was full resolution, 1920 by 1080 HD. It seemed very high bit rate. It doesn't have a lot of blockiness or smeariness. It looked like a very good video. Now, when I contacted Zeb, I asked him to send me the video, and he did. And I began to interrogate it in some of the tools that I use, and there were some strange things that I observed about it. First of all,
now we should point out, Jason, if our audience is new to you, your background is that you do this for a living. When you worked in Hollywood, frankly, you worked on major motion pictures in the visual effects department. So you know this stuff. I think you said you started using Photoshop when you were like in diaper.
You know what? I am so sorry. I'm sitting up here just running my mouth and the mute was on. Okay, I'm going to say it again. From this point on, I will no longer speak that person's name. My name for that person will now be One-Eye Lucy. Okay? One-Eye Lucy. So when I say One-Eye Lucy, you know who I'm talking about. That's that one that dabs that one eye. We're going to get a eye patch for the other one. One-Eye Lucy. That's it. Okay, let me put these men back on here. I'm just running my mouth and the...
Basically, right?
13 years old, yes. First version of Photoshop that I used was 1.07, and I think it was 1985, 6, something like that. But I've been doing digital imaging for a long, long time. And so that's exactly where my expertise lies. And again, experts, whether they're neurosurgeons, ballistic experts, or whatever, they're looking at all of this through the lens of distorted digital imagery. So the first step in this evaluation is we need to understand these digital videos and the digital images that we're looking at. So Zeb sent me this video, and the first thing I noticed was that it did not open in QuickTime Player on my Mac when I double-clicked on it, just like a movie from your phone would. And so I started to examine it, and I first thought that it was an MPEG transport stream, but upon further interrogation, I've been continuing my investigation since we spoke. I've discovered that it wasn't that. It's an MPEG stream that's encoded in what's called high 10, which is a subset of the H.264 protocol. This is not a format that the iPhone creates. The iPhone is capable of making high dynamic range videos, but not in this high 10 format. The other thing that I noticed about it is that it's encoded at 20 frames per second. We can see right here, it's got a pretty high bit rate, but it's 20 frames per second. And I realize this gets technical, but it's important.
Right. Well, most films, when people see films in a theater, it's usually at 24 frames a second. A lot of phones, you can set it to 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second. 20, though, is odd to me.
You're exactly right. The 24 frame per second frame rate is the cinema frame rate of a movie camera. And so digital cameras that want to mimic cinema cameras can shoot at 24. European television standards are 25. North American television standards are 30. High definition can be 60, but 20 is very unusual. And again, it's a format that the iPhone cannot create. This high 10 MPEG profile, it's not something that any Android phone, it's not something that any iPhone or action camera or, consumer, prosumer camera can create. So I began to investigate this 20 frame per second file, and I found these two dots in the video.
This is interesting right here.
In this image, people can see we've got this dot right here. These three dots create a line. Mm-hmm. And when I started talking to Zeb Boykin about this 20 frame per second video,
isn't it interesting that these three dots here are behind him? Don't you think that's interesting, considering that they claim that the entry wound is right here, where my cursor is. That's crazy. And there's that camera. There's that camera right there. And I seen that joker get up on that chair that he's sitting in. He climbed up on that very chair, moved it back here to the wall, and took that camera down in plain sight. And it's ironic that whoever was filming that would turn the camera away at certain times and then continue filming again. Ain't that the truth, Fonda? Putting Luda out of business.
Days later, someone sent him the same video, but at 30 frames per second. Now, this is where it becomes very important. I was looking at these videos, and in order to get a 20 frame per second video from a 30 frame per second original, there's a couple of things that you could do. The most obvious would be to sort of slow it down. But the
thing is, Mr. Phillips, a lot of that video footage is now unavailable. Now, you can find a lot of video footage online from different platforms. But the raw footage, the footage that was taken away from the site that belonged to, what's the name of this thing again? Turning Point. The Turning Point people took SD cards out. They were taking SD cards out, putting them in their pockets, taking cameras down, moving stuff. Those were Turning Point people. This can't be just a mistake. This can't be just stupidity. Your boy just got offed. And you taking down equipment. Wouldn't you want to preserve the scene? Where's the police? Security team as well. They part of it too. But where was the official police? That's right, Dawn. They got to be able to find them before they can even see that they were tampered with. They could be destroyed for all we know. Yep.
And you'd play it back and you'd notice that the sound is slow, the motion is slow. There'd be certain obvious things. And these videos did not exhibit those things. Another way you could do it is you could just drop 10 frames every second, but then you'd get this sort of jerky, juddery motion that also wouldn't look natural. And I did not observe that. The other thing you could do is a complex process called optical flow, but that also creates artifacts, and I didn't observe any of that. So when I was looking at the 30 frame per second video, that's where I found this third dot right here behind Charlie's head. Now, I want to be very careful to not show anything that's going to get us dinged on any of the platforms, but I'm going to switch to Adobe After Effects here, and I want to show people what I'm talking about in the difference between the 20 frame per second and the...
Hey, Weeby, welcome to the chat. Weeby said, the barred numbskulls from the scene of the crime. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
30 frame per second video. So here we see the projectile right here. This is the second dot that I just showed everybody, and it's headed towards Charlie. Now, my allegation is that this originates in a video that was shot at 240 frames per second. in the 20 frame video, you see when I advance forward, can you guys see that very acute disturbance of his shirt? It almost looks like an invisible hand is pinching the collar and pulling it up. Can you guys see that?
Yeah. It looks like someone's pinching it. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I allege is happening right there is that this is a low muzzle velocity projectile, very likely a bullet fired from an air rifle or an air pistol.
Isn't that what Mr. Let Go was talking about? He pulled out one of those little canisters that looks similar to what you see when you have your helium balloons blown up. Something of that nature. Now, who did that? Absolutely, we watching a movie. We watching a movie. Barbara, you said it. The police never investigated the actual crime scene, only the roof where they claimed Tyler was at. That's because the crime scene had been tampered with before they even got there. The crime scene was messed up from the giddy up. And they only knew to go after Tyler because that's what they were privy to. Tyler ain't nothing but a scapegoat. He didn't do this. Now, I don't care how many times his daddy took him out to practice shooting. He wasn't that good. He wasn't that good. See, all of it is a movie. Just like Weeby said, we watching a movie. And I would say it's a Tyler Perry movie, but shoot, that Tyler Perry did a little bit better than this. They weren't very good actors all the time. Yeah, they lied on him. And the dude that they talked to in terms of the friend of the family, he went over there and told that boy, you better turn yourself in because they coming after you. He had no clue what was going on. He's called the Patsy. He's a patsy. This is deeper than some kid on a roof. And if they watch these videos, even Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, has publicly said, I think we're going to have to start investigating some of these conspiracy theories. They ain't conspiracy theories if you take a look at some of this footage for your damn self. This ain't all AI here. See, Kash Patel is looking at stuff that's handed to him to watch, but he needs to get up off his arse and do his job. If they were watching this footage, they would see that this man was not pow-powed from the front. So therefore, that would exonerate Tyler, who was in front of him. That's a good question, Weeby. Hi, Yolanda. How are you, sweetheart? Weeby said, we the people can make citizen arrests. Can we use the police department and the FBI for allowing the crime scene to be contaminated? We probably could, but let's see how far we could get with that one, considering that they're most likely in on it. That's a consideration too, Serene. Were they reaching for that JFK moment again. Maybe they thought it would be more powerful this way. Well, you know what? If it walk like a duck, talk like a duck, quack like a duck, then that's what it is. It's a duck. They're trying to portray something that didn't really go down the way that they're saying. Sue them. Now I don't know. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, Weeby. I don't know. We should, huh? All of us. Got us all up in arms, distracted from the real deal. All this here is a distraction to what? Epstein? Yeah. If we found out who was in those files, this country would boil over. That's true, Millionaire's Cove. That's a good thing. That's a good thought. I think the person on the roof was a plot to distract the shot from coming from behind him, possibly. And then they plant that old fart down there that's been at 3 other situations that were just as horrific in this country. They couldn't have found nobody else. They got to pick the same dude that was at 9/11, that was at the Boston Marathon, that was at the Jesus Christ, the Oklahoma City bombing. This dude happened to be at 3 of the most craziest things that have happened in this country. And now this is the 4th one that he just happens to be at, and he's getting hauled off. And said they seeking the death penalty, so I wonder if anything else will come out. I think a lot has come out. And if the FBI does what they're supposed to do, Kash Patel has already said publicly that they're going to start investigating some of these conspiracy theories. Where are the conspiracy theories coming from? Right here on YouTube, TikTok. And it's really sad that we got to do their job for them. They underestimated us. You get enough people together to get down to the bottom of something, and you got a whole nother monster to contend with. A whole nother monster. And Barbara, you right. No, his wife is going for the okie doke. She even says she forgives him. She know he didn't do it. Because I'm going to say it. Truth be told, One-Eye Lucy know more than she lets on. Exactly, Serene. At this point, the only things that make sense in this world are the things not of this world. You are right about that. So right about that.
Traveling at 500 feet per second. And I arrive at that 500 feet per second number because I've applied this scale. Now, it would be a complex mathematical problem to actually measure the distance between these dots. But if we begin with the hypothesis that this video was shot at 240 frames per second, that gives us an original that is evenly divisible by 20 and by 30. If we divide a 240 frame video by 12 and use 1 out of every 12 frames, we get an even, smooth 20 frames per second. If we take that same 240 frame per second video and divide by 8, we get an even, smooth 30 frames per second. But we're using 1 out of every 8 or 1 out of every 12, and that results in a different set of frames being used to make up each video. And it comes out the front of his neck.
Okay, use wisdom. What was Tyler doing limping across the lot? They say it was because he had that rifle down his pants. But see, there's some inconsistencies even about the breakdown of that rifle. Absolutely. Using the same dude tells us the incidents were also staged. They opened the book to the people to bury the guilt. And we watched the dude jump off the doggone roof. Was there anything in his leg then? Did he throw anything did he throw anything off of the roof before he jumped off himself? If he had that thing in his pants when he jumped off that roof, he would have a busted leg. He dismantled the rifle in seconds. They showed experts trying to dismantle that thing, and it was not done in seconds. People that have been doing this for years. And who's to say that was even Tyler? I hear tell Tyler wasn't even on the doggone grounds of the school at all. Maybe it was homeboy that they were showing walking up the steps trying to say it was Tyler. And if you look at their picture side by side, you can say very clearly that was not Tyler's picture or Tyler's face when you compare him to the other guy. They had two different people side by side. The guy going up the stairwell with the clothes that they were describing Tyler had on. That was not Tyler. They can call it what they want. That was not Tyler. That's who they need to be trying to find. But that if they knew that Plant was up there, and they're not looking for him. They're not looking for him. I'm going to skip this. Matter of fact, you know what? This right here is a lot of technical jargon. This pretty much is what he's saying, is that the shot didn't come from the front. It came from the back. Okay, so we're going to cut down some of this video, because I want y'all to see this. Let me go ahead and we're going to go to the PBD podcast. They are also here on YouTube. Let me share my screen.
Guy on Manek sends me a message saying, Pat, that Range Day Bro clip you played was great, but a guy just sent me something showing a complete different thing. Fast forward the Range Day Bro clip to about 4 minutes. Keep going, and go a little bit more. Okay, back up a little bit, Rob. Back up a little bit, where it shows the headset on Charlie's ear. Go back. Let's see if we're gonna see it or not. Go back a little bit. So he's showing this part. Oh man. Okay, right there. Play it from right there, Rob.
Comes in.
I don't see a bullet coming in anywhere.
In that circle area. Let the blood splatter go down, then up, and then the exit wound emerges.
You're also going to find out this guy talks out both sides of his mouth. He'll say something like, the FBI is lying, the official narrative is lying, and then he'll say, I'm not accusing anybody of anything.
What matters is that the official narrative is not true.
See that?
Remember I showed this?
It looks like it's blood, right?
They will say it's 100% conclusive,
So,
or it's already been proven. You know,
It looked like blood. Even we thought it was blood, right? Now, Rob, go fast forward at a different angle with him. Just fast forward the clip and go until he shows the angle. Keep going. Okay. Right there. Go back about 20 seconds. Okay, play it from right there. Go ahead.
So we're going through here step by step, frame by frame, until we find it. So that right there, you could see his reaction right here. So this is what I believe to be the first frame capturing his reaction of anything from the bullet. So now here, when you look around his ear, I believe that is
one
the
of those
wire.
earpiece, like, you know, the wire when you speak.
And it's often a transparent type wire. Now let's go ahead one more frame.
That comes up. So it looks like it's blood.
Now behind him. That is certainly not blood splatter like this guy falsely claimed. And also, where's the blood dripping?
None.
That he was claiming was dripping on the side of Charlie's head. There is no blood there because there was no entry wound here.
That's his
One
opinion,
more frame.
Exactly, Barbara.
You could see that it was up in the air. You can see it's still right there, still vertical. And now it's right there. It just flung behind his head, and it's kind of going diagonal right there. And keep your eye right there on that spot. You're going to see it disappear on the next frame. See, it moved up and gone already because of the force of the impact. Now, nowhere here is there any type of entry wound. You would have seen an explosive entry wound by now, just like we did from the views from the front, which shows that there was absolutely 0 shots hitting Charlie from this side. So anybody that tries to show you a video from
pause it right there. Okay, so remember, guys, this is why I love what's going on right now. Because everybody is what? Reacting to whatever they have and reacting to whatever they have. Tom, when you see this, what do you think about?
Well, I want to see all the perspectives and all the angles. I don't want to keep seeing, you know, Charlie and the moment of passing there.
Barbara said the so-called text messages sounds just like an old law enforcement official, not a 22-year-old. Yeah, they had that whole text message stream going on. I mean, like a book. They were writing a book. Under those particular circumstances, who has time to sit there and type all that stuff in such detail? And as a matter of fact, where's the boyfriend now? I remember that one. I remember that, Weeby. And John Wick. Y'all got to check out that movie, John Wick. I can't remember which one it was, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Everybody in Central Park paused when given the signal. Here's another thing. Most of those people didn't care about Charlie. They used his demise for their personal political game. Hello. Did you see some of the people cheering after it happened, Discerning 8? There were people in the crowd cheering. It was on video. Exactly, Barbara. Like when Mr. Let Go said, when your team hook you up with the mic, you don't ask, what is that? That was that little air cartridge thing.
But I want to know for sure what's up. And everybody that is a forensic analyst is saying the same thing. They said, that does not look like an entry wound on the front of his neck.
Nope.
That does not look like an entry wound. That looks like an exit wound. You have hunters that have talked about this. You have people that are coroners that have talked about this. And so the question is, okay, how did such a cataclysmic wound happen there? And you know, the bullet, Man of Steel, was lodged in there. Okay, is somebody going to do ballistics? So I'm waiting for conclusive data from a real investigation, other than, hey, his DNA was on this firearm. Okay, but had the firearm been fired? You know, and do we have ballistics on the bullet that you said was found in his neck, just below the skin? I want to see all these angles, and I'm glad that one is keeping others in check. But man, that's an exit wound from the front. That's my opinion based on the folks that I'm watching who are experts in these kind of forensics. And so the question is, how do you get that kind of a wound?
Vinny.
I'm with Tom 100%. They're claiming, this is the FBI and everybody, that it was the 30-06. It was not a 30-06. The official narrative is not official. And this guy is just another, and I get 100%. It looks like an earpiece, but from anybody that shot guns and knows about this type of thing, that if it was a 30-06, it would have been it
would have been a mess.
He would have been it would have been disgusting. It would have been a lot worse than what you guys saw. Number one. Number two, all this footage, just camera phones sucked in and it's blurry. The main footage is the HD camera that was sitting behind Charlie shooting down,
Hello.
capturing him and the entire crowd.
That's the one dude climbed up on that chair, on the chair that Charlie was sitting in, and took it down. They are saying it was an exit wound, but guess what, Barbara? If it was, it would have been a mess. This is bad. This is a poorly planned movie. And they got this dude climbing up on a chair in his haste. Did he realize he was being filmed? Did he even realize it? But I thought that it was ironic that those that were filming all this going down would turn away at certain points. And when they turned back, it'd be gone. That's right, Barbara. And old One-Eyed Lucy would have had more to cry about, laying over that casket with that corny commercial. Hi, Kathy. Serene said it feels like all these moments and distractions are harvesting energy for a big move. But there's too much light and nothing sticking. Absolutely right about that. They throwing stuff up against the wall to see what sticks, and nothing is sticking. Exactly. Well, not only that, Discerning 8, where's Tyler's boyfriend? He's in the wind. He's gone. Don't nobody know where he is. This is madness. And we don't know. We dumb. We don't know nothing. We ain't got plain and common sense. Not up in here. No.
But somebody from Turning Point grabbed it, was all sneaky with it, put it in a hat and give it to another guy that ran off. And we're supposed to just take their word that this guy handed it off after he looked at it and gave it to the FBI. I'm sorry. I don't believe the official narrative.
You called the school.
No.
What
I called yesterday.
I
I called, and Amanda was with me. She recorded it. I called UVU, and I called to the main desk, and I said, "Hey, I'm with such and such." I made up a thing, and I said, "I'm trying to find out."
They had the funeral. Use wisdom. They had the funeral on Sunday, the 21st of October. It was not a funeral service. If you'd have seen that thing, you'd have thought that somebody was campaigning for office. Big old stage, all these different people talking, all these pyrotechnics. Exactly, Barbara. He's in the wind. But that funeral service was a joke. Right, we be. Exactly. That's how they perceive us, at least. But it's going to take more than just feeding us a bunch of bullshit for this to go away. Because people are not letting this just go away, fizzle out like a punk on the 4th of July. Yes, that's it. Use wisdom. That was the funeral service when Mr. Trump came out there toward the end and she laid her head in his chest. Oh, Big Daddy. Oh, I miss him so. Shut the fuck up. Wait a minute. I think the funeral was the same week because his parents and sister was not at the circus on the 21st. You know what? I would hope that they did something for his family that wasn't down for all that nonsense. Retreader said his boyfriend is in hiding, so he won't go through any of this. Remember, his grandfather is rich. They are staying in his grandfather's condo. Money, pays a lot. That's right. Exactly, use wisdom, but that's what they called it. They called it the service. That was what they called it. They called it the funeral, the memorial service. But we can go back as far as that little display of emotion that she had draped over his casket when, they delivered him back to Phoenix and, to the funeral home. And they shot that little, what I call a commercial. Yeah. She was weeping over the casket. Notice you didn't see his face at all. At all. And she's whispering, I love you. Oh, I love you. Where was the babies? Exactly. Use wisdom, get out of my head. She came out with no children. Where are these kids? I remember when JFK, I remember seeing the footage of when JFK was killed. And little JFK Jr. came out next to mommy. And he stood there and he saluted. Christine, a little older than him, she was there. I ain't seen Nan Child since. Where are these children? Okay. Thank you, Retreader. Let me put this up. That was a memorial. It was called Do Jews Have Funerals? They Have Memorials. In New York City, it was memorials. Okay. Well, whatever they had, it didn't look like anything funeral related or memorial related. That was a show. That was a show. And she getting up there, Lucy One Eye, dabbing at one eye. You ain't got no tear ducts over here. You just dabbing at this one. Uh-huh. But no, we stupid.
If you guys, because the construction that's happening right now is unbelievable. It doesn't even look like what it is right now, okay? Doesn't make sense. I said, who do I talk to? You guys just had, and I apologize, you guys had the biggest assassination since JFK on your campus. Was there scheduled construction on the exact site where this happened? Can you comment on that? He goes, let me direct you to the right place. Your conversations, you're typing, sends me to like maintenance or something like that. And it's a female that picks up, and I go, hey, I'm so-and-so with media. I go, I'm just curious. Did you guys have construction set up? Whispering, talking. I can't talk to you about that. I go, no, hold on one second. I don't need information about the shooting or nothing like that. Did you guys have scheduled maintenance? Because I would assume that if it's an assassination at this magnitude, you would leave the crime scene for potential bullets, potential fragments, other things to recreate in the scene. There's stuff in that ceiling, that overhead pat, that there's cameras, there's an opening that you could get in there. I'm like, how is this normal? Who made the decision? I can't say anything. Let me give you the information to our VP of Strategic and Communications Management. I called her 3 times. I don't even want to say her name. I called 3 times. Nobody picked up, and I left a message. I'm just trying to figure out with this type of magnitude. And you know what's insane? For how many minutes after? Not one police officer went there and secured the crime scene. I've watched multiple videos. I've watched aftermath of videos. I saw people coming and stealing hats off a truck and throwing them. Some guy's like, what the hell are you doing? There's no way this type of cover up. And the fact that when you
that's a fact that you law enforcement should have shown up and taped the
Why
scene.
didn't they?
Ain't that what we've been saying? Ain't that what we've been saying? An event of that magnitude, and people were able to just run amok all up in there. People even from the crowd stealing hats. Nobody there to stop them. No security. Security's so busy on top of the man on the ground. There was video footage of one particular gentleman. We might be able to see it later. I'm not sure if it's in here tonight, but one guy was literally seen going under the table while they were allegedly working on Charlie, getting ready to haul him out of there. Hi, Benjamin. How you doing, sweetheart? Absolutely, Retretta. Everybody is suspect. Anybody involved with this, with the whole setup, there should be some kind of investigation on them too. That's what it's starting to look like, We're becoming very desensitized. He said, what does it mean when there have been multiple mass after the Charlie Kirk incident, but we are not deterred from this? Are we now desensitized? I'm not desensitized because every one of them is awful. And they are what they are. They're distractions from something bigger. They want to blame it on certain things. Yes, Serene, I saw that. He got their names. But they want us to be so overwhelmed that we just give up and say, well, whatever, y'all, just whatever you come up with. And we can't stand for that. Good to have you, Benjamin. Good to have you, sweetheart. And good to see you. Exactly, use wisdom, and you know where it started with them video games. No emotion. They going after our youth at younger and younger ages. You see the little young boy that they've got to step into Charlie's shoes. I met him when I was in the 4th grade. I was 11 years old. 4th grade and 11 years old? Okay, let's make that make sense, because my grandson is 12 and he's in the 6th grade. So you were 11 in the 4th grade? I'm calling cap on that one. Thank you, Barbara. It runs that deep. And they should be looking at One Eye Lucy and her parents. Yes, he is, Serene. He really is.
And you know what's crazy?
Just like Butler.
They were
Why
there, though.
didn't they?
I don't know, but you know what's crazy, Pat? I saw a cop. One cop basically had his gun drawn while they were bringing Charlie, God rest his soul, to the vehicle. Your job, bro, is to go... This idiot, and by the way, Candace yesterday was talking about this guy, Pat. She knows him. She goes, never has this guy ever been around when we were on tour.
This who? Back up a second and say who we're talking about.
The guy with the camera that was taking the SD card
Who
out.
stood on the chair.
Think about this, guys. It's a crime scene. You're moving the chair that he was shot. There's probably evidence in there if there was, God forbid, a bullet in there. He's climbing up there, moving everything, and nobody's saying anything? Common sense 101. You're touching the crime scene. That's the main event. That camera has everything, okay? And I'm sorry, people are like, who do you trust? Get Israel, get all that out of there. The way that it was handled and the fact that his friends and everybody else have just moved on and they're worrying about Turning Point, does not sit with me well, Pat. And I'm talking about my mom. I'm talking about people from all walks of life are like, something doesn't feel right.
Mom?
My mom, my aunt, my cousins, my friends. I'm having messages from people that I haven't talked to in years that are like, I know I watched the show and everything. They go, none of us feel like what we're being told is the truth. Not with Tyler, not with none of it is adding up. The boyfriends disappeared. Now they're trying to say that Tyler didn't even step foot on the campus
so let me
that
ask you
day.
this. What do you think is going to end up happening?
Just like every single time, PBD, they always get away with it. Evil on this sense, they get away with it. Because we're almost 3 weeks into it. And I know some of her points are a little out there. She's the only one. Nobody from their side is asking questions like.
And isn't that ironic? We got candy. I'm going to call it candy. Just like candy. I can feel it when you walk. Even when you talk, it takes over me. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to divert my attention to the past. I'm sorry. CO is more emotionally involved in this than wifey. Candace is the only one that is picking up them bootstraps and laying her ass on the line to get to the bottom of this. And you would think wifey would be in front of the whole line. Who did this to my husband? Is that Doodle Bird? Hi, Doodle Bird. Once again, I get back to One Eye Lucy. One Eye Lucy ain't shedding a tear for real. I see the show. I'm telling you the truth. One Eye Lucy is excited about Turning Point and where it's going from here. Absolutely use wisdom. Who stands to benefit more? Think about it. Oh, One Eye Lucy went to school for this kind of stuff. Politics. Political science. Didn't Mr. Kirk say that college was a ripoff? Didn't I hear him say that at one time? Or was I hearing things? Absolutely. And every time you see her, Benjamin, she's out there. Oh, please donate to. Please donate. They pushing for them donations. I want to get through this one because I really want y'all to see the next video.
If you were my friend, Pat, and I died, I would want you to be like, wait a minute. Why were you touching shit? Who has the footage? And it doesn't add up. Tyler doesn't even add up.
Happen, Tom?
So I'm thinking three things. Actually more like two. The first is there are hard facts that dots aren't connecting. Did he fire one shot from up on top? Crowd reaction appears to be a little different. And he really ran off that way with that gun of that size in that jacket or blanket, whatever he had there. He was walking peg leg down the street with the gun down the leg of his pants. You know, there's things on the Tyler angle that don't add up. Why is this older gentleman standing up when everybody would be ducking down? You know, I was in a restaurant when a gunshot went off in a bar. One gunshot. Everybody was on the ground. We were all under the tables until a server said, you know, our security guy took the guy outside. Nobody got shot. But I've seen that. So that's one point in my life when I was in college. I heard a gunshot indoors. You're all down.
One Eye Lucy is a Shanghai Flusy. Oh my God, that is the comment of the evening. One Eye Lucy is a Shanghai Floozy. Got her head buried in that man's chest like Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy, my heart is melting. Man, she need to go back to acting school. She sucks. Her acting is awful.
Why is this old guy standing up waving a hat? So I see little facts like this that just don't seem to add up. Why wasn't there police there taping up the scene? Why are people taking cameras that would be holding footage that would be of great interest to the FBI? Why is the Utah governor coming to the microphone? We got him and we got the gun. It reminds me, if you read Oswald, they did the same thing. They held up the Italian gun,
Everybody took the photos?
and then they talked about Oswald, and a day later they killed Oswald.
Yeah, weird.
Brandon, what do you think happened? What do you think's going
So
on?
these facts bother me. There's my headline, Pat. The
So-
facts
I got
that
it.
we can have
Brandon, what do you
bother me.
think?
So the only thing I could say for certain is that we're clearly not being told everything that the FBI knows. We're not being told everything the hospital knows. We're not being told everything Turning Point knows. And that was one of the things I was most excited about for this administration, was the notion of having a transparent FBI for the first time, where, you know, we know the games they play for, like, with the JFK stuff, with the Butler, Pennsylvania stuff, and even the Epstein stuff, but, you know, we're not getting that. And you would think that somebody like Kirk, who was almost the most responsible person for getting Trump elected, like, Trump could be in jail if it wasn't for Charlie Kirk.
Fonda, I'm sorry. I almost choked on my tea when I read that. Oh my goodness, you got me crying here. Oh my God. Retretis's wife, he probably didn't love Charlie. She took her orders from someone else. She is told what to do. Charlie probably loved her because he was legit, not knowing her ish, being told what to do. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Fonda has me dying up here. I mean, oh my God. That was hilarious. I gotta gather myself. Let me put this back. Let me start this back up.
What the Democrats wanted to do for him. You would think that he would have come down with more vengeance and more curiosity about what happened to Kirk, and spoke about that more. So I'm surprised to see that from Trump's end, that he's not more curious about what happened to Kirk. I'm surprised that Kash Patel's not being more transparent and forceful to find out what happened. And then not only that, they're withholding stuff from us in addition to not being transparent about it. So I don't think there's enough to say for certain who might have done it, but I can say for certain that we don't know everything they know, and they're like they're forcing us to come up with these theories and alternate opinions because they're deceptive.
How long are you willing to be patient? Like, actually, Hanlon's razor, okay?
Achman?
Hanlon's razor.
What's that one?
Hanlon's razor, if you pull it up, Rob, I'll read it. Hanlon's razor is
Never attribute to malice.
Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity, Tom, or
a mistake.
So it suggests that negative events or poor actions are more often the result of ignorance, incompetence, carelessness, or other non-malicious factors than intentional evil or malice. Let's take this as innocent until proven guilty perspective real quick.
Mm-hmm.
None of this stuff makes sense. Bullet goes in here, shouldn't be an explosion. Bullet goes in here, it comes out because it should. The damage doesn't go in like that. The damage comes out. So I'm with you. I'm on the same page. That coming out looks like it didn't come this way because at first we thought it was blood squirting. It's not blood squirting. It was actually things. So that's good that we're seeing that. The guy standing up automatically and starts walking towards the area being shot is the same guy that was there on 9/11. And then the guy putting the chip in the hat and walking, all this stuff, I'm with it. And but to me, I guess the question I'm asking is, how long? Imagine you're them. You are Cash. You're doing the investigation. How long should you have?
How long should you have? As long as it takes. That's how long you should have. As long as it takes. Exactly, Benjamin. Both parents employment. Mr. Phillips wants his brown sugar. Want some of that brown sugar. But I mean, honestly, her parents are involved in government. In the government, she started up the what is it, the Romanian. See, I need to take Geritol more often. I don't take it enough. I can't remember nothing I want to say. She started a nonprofit at 17 years old. Just like Charlie. Charlie started Turning Point at 18. They get them young. This ain't by design. This is by design. I'm sorry. This is all by design. It's thank you, Weeby, the orphanage, the Romanian orphanage. It's sad. I mean,
To get to the bottom of this, I guess that's the part that we don't know. And what is the protocol? What are you supposed to go through? What's supposed to be the process? How many people are you interviewing? How many people are you supposed to be talking to? The fact that you're seeing the place being fixed up, and that's where the shooting was, and you get it fixed. Have they made an announcement why they did the construction?
Absolutely not.
It's not just
Has the
fixed up,
school made
it's
any?
changed.
I totally get it.
No
Rob,
autopsy.
is there any announcement by the university why they've done that?
No, I took a look this morning. I could not find a single news article, nothing about any type of construction that was being planned
Can
Can
either.
you send me? Is that clip on Twitter?
I have her number.
Is
again,
that number?
Yes.
Pat, should I call her again?
There was no autopsy, right?
What?
Okay, so kids kept coming up missing, right? Barbara said kids kept coming up missing. Okay, I want to know where her kids are right now. Where are her kids? Now, I know they're not trafficked or anything like that, but with all that has gone on, Daddy's no longer in the picture. Where are the babies? Where are the babies? Are they with the nanny somewhere while mommy goes out promoting her new position that Daddy used to have? She gonna take it even farther than he could? Or maybe because he started feeling a certain kind of way on how things were being done on that other, it starts with an I, another country that starts with an I. I'm not going to say the name. But maybe she's willing to do the bidding of others. She's willing to do the bidding of others when it comes down to the what does Mr. Let Go call it? IHOP. See, he was starting to change his mind on how things were being run. He hanging out with Big Daddy Trump. They hanging out with Big Daddy Trump with the nannies. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play the.
What
rest
is the?
I'm gonna call, her name is Ellen. I could call them right now.
Call them right now.
Okay. I love this.
Call them right now. This is what? This is the university?
I'm doing that because I saw what Mr. Let Go is going through, Barbara. They pulling all his video. I mean, every time he does a video. Every time he does a video, YouTube demonetizes him. So much so that he had to start a Patreon. So I'm not starting up no Patreon. I can't afford all that. I'm not starting up a Patreon because YouTube and One Eye Lucy want to go on a suing spree of YouTubers. When you put yourself out there in the public eye, you will be publicly scrutinized. Google is owned by IHOP. Well, I want some extra syrup and 2 more slices of bacon with my IHOP meal. So that just tells me even something more. I see the play now, Retretta. Thanks for telling me. Google is owned by IHOP, and YouTube is owned by Google. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let me see if there's anything else that they say that's very relevant.
Rob, can we call and you just
hang on 1 second?
And what I'm trying to find out is,
I'm doing it.
All we want to know is one thing: have you made the announcement of?
Utah is a one-party consent state, so you're good.
So I can do this.
But Florida's two-party.
So you can't do that. You can't do that.
Well, but this is all I've been getting. Nobody picks up.
I know. You can't do that.
Okay.
So what I want to do is I'm going to ask the question to see if they've made the announcement. You don't just fix up the place that got shot up and not make an announcement about it.
Mr. Let Go, Benjamin, he's another content creator that has been reporting on this very subject. And he's been going hard in the paint, just like Candace. And since One Eye Lucy done come out and said she's going to start suing YouTubers, and the fact that YouTube keeps demonetizing every video he does on this subject, he says, I'm not going to say certain things on my platform anymore because of that. International House of Politicians. Oh my God. Let me see what they're gonna talk about, because there's one more video that I want to
give that argument
on Catch's team. It's like, I mean, the shooter.
Well, you would say that it would be because they don't want to give evidence away that would be pertinent to know on the FBI side. But Cash is the one that came out and said, "Hey, we got him," before they even had him. So that contradicts the notion of them trying to withhold things from the public.
Yeah, saying that you have a shooter that fast before you actually had the shooter doesn't add any credibility to you, which you've already lost the credibility.
But remember, you're not doing it. Just do it for a second.
Well, they're handling
you're the spokesperson for them, and you truly know everything they know. Okay? Speak on their behalf. What do you say?
Hey, I respect the public's curiosity here. It's a horrible thing that happened to a very public figure. This is an active investigation. There are multiple angles that are being pursued here, and we have to pursue those and complete the investigation without tipping off people or without framing it through the media. And we can't lose our opportunity to prosecute because certain things are misrepresented in the media. So you need to let us do our work. We're interviewing a lot of people and following a lot of leads. Now I'm stuck. So let's say I'm the press secretary for the FBI. Says, well, so why did you say you have you got him? If there's a second shooter, don't you have to come forward and say you don't got him? So in that case, Pat, it would be hard for me. Now, how do I spin from the inside? So you're saying maybe you don't got him. You're saying you're still investigating him. Either you got him and you're done, FBI, or you're pursuing other leads, still looking into it. Which is it, sir? And you're kind of stuck. But from the inside, that's what I would be saying.
What's up, Rob?
It's interesting. There's some construction information that's been released by the Utah Valley University.
Okay, so now they're going to talk about the construction on the premises where this took place. so soon after the event happened, which is really suspect on its own right.
But none of it has to do with the building that you guys are mentioning or where Charlie was shot. So they released a student center remodel. There's an article about that. There's also the Scott M. Smith building that they were constructing. There's also the stadium that they're going to be using. So they do issue announcements regarding construction ongoing at the campus. There is nothing written about where Charlie was shot and construction being done there.
Weird. It's so weird.
Here's the problem. The problem is, it's hard to make a case for them.
Right.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make a case why it's if let's just say the school does have that construction scheduled. You're the FBI. You're the local PD. Guys, you're not touching this for 3 weeks.
Yeah. A week.
Can you look up, Rob? What is the longest a crime scene stayed intact?
Good question.
What is the longest a crime scene stayed intact just to get all evidence?
Or the average amount of time even?
I want to know the longest. I want to know the longest, not the average time. I want to know, because shortly, average is going to be probably 8 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. But what is the longest a crime scene stayed intact?
I think John Bonet
and maybe that's not the question, Rob. Tom, what's the question? Are we asking a question the right way? Do you know what I'm trying to ask?
Standard practice, maybe?
Yeah. What is the
standard modern? Okay. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
You're saying like
I'm talking
there was a
murder scene. Like, what's the longest?
40 plus days later in homes.
Years later.
Yes.
40 years later. No, but that's not real. What I'm asking is, what is the longest in America after a murder took place that the FBI asked to keep the murder scene untouched for them to investigate the entire, homicide? Okay. I want to know this question because I want to make comps. I want to make comparisons. Let's look at this here. In Joseph Mankin in 1969, the FBI exhumed the body this decades later and get the DNA of Donald Jones. If you liked it, the guy can. No, I want to know how, because let's just say we look this up. Shouldn't be hard to find this, Rob. I just don't know if we're asking a question the right way. Let's just say if there's cases where it was 40 days, it better be bigger than this assassination. Let's say there's cases that's 2.5 months. I'm sure there are. Why did you move so quickly on this one? I don't understand that. Leave the scene the way it is until we get everything figured out.
I hear tell, because this question was asked. And I don't recall number 1, but I do remember number 2 in terms of crime scenes being left untouched for the longest time. Number 2 was the John Bonet crime scene. Little Jean Bonet. And I couldn't tell you how long it was. Serene says, the longest I've seen lately is on CSI at 8:30 p.m.
Okay, so World Trade Center, 8 months.
World Trade Center.
John and Ramsey House, Boulder, 6-year-old murder, family home remain under investigation
for months.
City.
Evidence was collected over a long span, but the house was eventually released and later sold. The house remained sealed and under investigation for months. Okay.
Yeah.
So John Bonet Ramsey, 6-year-old murder, Oklahoma City bombing, Manson family murders, crime scene for weeks. The Tate LaBianca houses were crime scenes for weeks, but eventually returned to owners. For weeks. That's weeks, bro.
Now, isn't it ironic that out of those 4 that they just listed, 9/11 being one of them, and who was that? Let me go back a little bit. 9/11 and Oklahoma City. That guy, that old dude that got arrested at the Kirk assassination was located at these 2, number 1, 9/11, and number 3, Oklahoma City. He was at both of these locations as well. And now you add Mr. Kirk's assassination that this guy was at. That makes 3 events in this country that the same dude was at. Doesn't that look weird to anybody but me? Does that not look weird to anybody but me? You got one dude that has been at 3 different iconic tragedies in this country. The same dude. Bingo. Bingo. They look like a duck, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, then doggone it, it's a duck. In this case, it's a plant. I don't have his picture, but it's available. He was carted off by the police in handcuffs. Because people thought that he was the one that pulled the trigger, but that was not the case. But he was raising all kind of hell at the scene. And it's just ironic that he was there on that occasion, as well as 9/11 and Oklahoma City. I wish I knew his name. That's true, Discerning 8. That's very true. Let me go a little bit farther. Let me see what they're talking about, because I have one more video.
Any of that here?
No,
share.
and there was police present.
So there's a simple, without going conspiracy, go simple fact-based question. Why didn't law enforcement, campus police, local police, FBI, sequester and photograph everything the way that we see it?
Let me ask you a question. If this happens to me and my wife tells the FBI, I don't want you to investigate
Let's
it.
do the bird.
Does the FBI still has a duty to go out there and investigate it?
Well, she just made herself the first suspect.
Yeah, that increases the odds of the investigation.
I mean,
but if family says we're good, we're moved. I'm trying to find out, like, who has the authority to say, you know how sometimes somebody commits a crime against you, like, we're not filing any charges. Can that immediately stop an investigation?
I don't think
Shouldn't the FBI and the police department still, even if
in the case of the case of simple battery or things like this, I can decide. So if there's you punch me,
too many questions.
You punch me in a restaurant.
Auntie, was AI there? I'm sure he was. Because I seen a video that had a lot of blood in it, and come to find out there was no blood. Oh. It sounds like it, Benjamin. We stopped these types of assassinations in the 60s. This was a playbook back to that time. Yeah, but it was poorly done, considering all of the technology that we have available. Yeah, that old man is a weirdo. I don't know what happened to him. I know they had to let him go at some point. But this thing has really taken feet and taken on a life of its own. I don't know what to say about that, Barbara, other than I think that because of what CO was talking about in terms of Charlie changing his mind, we'll say. Michael Mallinson. Okay, thank you, Discerning 8. The fact that Charlie was changing his mind about how IHOP was moving and how, the United States was supporting those moves. That's when the little meeting at the Hamptons took place. Somebody was kind of pissed off with Charlie and offered him a lot of money, and he turned it down. This is according to Candace. But yes, I believe that they were finalizing things, Barbara. They arrested him, talking about Michael Mallinson. They arrested him for that. That's what they could hang on him. But he was causing a commotion at the scene. Absolutely, Benjamin. Remember, when they want to confuse, they will pull out all kinds of stories to confuse. The old man was a distraction, giving time for the real people to get out. Period. That part right there. I'm going to end this part right here because I really want you guys. Exactly, Barbara. Let me see what else. This is what should have been taking place.
They have in this isn't Charlie Kirk, but in this FBI investigation,
Everything, look at, there's a
there are
phone.
75 points that are being photographed.
Just from what we see. Just from what we see. And they just walked away from it.
Exactly.
That's gross negligence or incompetence. Like what?
Look
you
at
guys
that.
are being
I was
negligent.
just about to say that. I think Hamlin's razor, I mean, who made that the universal principle? Like, I almost think it could be the opposite of that sometimes. Don't attribute to stupidity what could be attributed to malice. 'Cause, I mean, what's
No,
more-
I think Hanlon's razor is necessary. It's what makes America so great. Justice, right? Innocent till proven guilty.
Yeah, right. Okay, so with all that said, we see how innocence and guilt is handled in this country lately. Let me go to this other one. This one right here. Let me remove this from the stage. I think you guys will really enjoy this one. She hits the nail on the head. Her name is not her channel's name is Nadia For Real. And she's a pretty small YouTuber so far, but she really hit the nail on the head when it came down to One Eye Lucy. It's actually quite comical. Hold on just a second. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay.
I'm a trained actor and I've worked in film and on stage for years. And I can tell you that any trained actor can see right through Erica Kirk. Good actors have different methods of getting into character. This allows them to express the genuine emotions that the scene elicits. But bad actors always have the same MO: exaggeration and melodrama. One of the biggest tells of a bad actor is gesturing, also known as the Vanna White effect. If you don't know who she is, Google her. For example, they deliver the line, "I have a headache," while rubbing their temples or grabbing their head to show you how much pain they're in. But does anyone actually do this when they really have a headache? The challenge for the actor is to live as if something were true while knowing that it's not. A good actor can temporarily suspend their disbelief to create an illusion for the audience. But when the actor can't even get themselves to believe the lie, they gesture to try to convince us to believe it. And Erica's entire speech is just one big gesture after another. I can already hear you saying, well, Erica isn't an actor, but I disagree. She's just a really bad one. The first red flag for me wasn't anything in the speech, but in the timing of her address.
Now, y'all kick back. I had a good time watching this one. I really did. Because everything that she said was on point. Don Beard said, at Barbara. Yes, Valhalla, witness protection. There's an older pic of Tyler standing in front of his computer with a map or location on the screen. Not sure if pic is real, but if so, then wow. Yeah, I've heard Valhalla pop up quite a bit lately. Quite a bit. But y'all just check this out. I gotta give it to old girl. She's on point with this.
She had just seen her husband get shot and killed right in front of her 2 days prior, but was somehow still able to deliver a 17-minute coherent speech in full hair and makeup. Whether it's your spouse or not, witnessing a traumatic event like that has marked effects on a person's ability to function, at least temporarily. Sudden severe trauma causes not just emotional distress, but cognitive dysfunction, because the amygdala, responsible for fight or flight and for our emotions, is in overdrive, which causes a shutdown of the prefrontal cortex, where we process information. That's why people who experience sudden, severe trauma are often rendered speechless. But not Chatty Cathy. She had plenty to say and did so without a hitch. The second red flag was the sound quality of the video, or I should say the lack of it. Turning Point USA has access to state-of-the-art equipment, so why wasn't she mic'd? Even if they'd only used the internal mic from the camera, we still wouldn't hear this excessive amount of crackling static. In my professional opinion, this sound effect was added later with editing tools to make the recording sound off the cuff.
Benjamin, you think she was rugged up? Or was she high on notoriety? I'm just saying. I mean, when the opportunity knocks, and this is what you went to school for, and now you in the driver's seat now. I'm just saying. It looks mighty sus.
And unplanned, which then leads me to wonder what the metadata would say about the date and time of this recording. I'm not making accusations. I'm just wondering. As we go through this speech, I want you to notice something really strange. Not the fact that she's not actually crying, because you can see that for yourself, but I counted 7 times that she pats her dry eyes with a tissue, and every single time, she only pats her left eye. That's weird, because real tears come from both eyes. Also notice that her gestures don't flow naturally, but are motions that start and end with specific verbal cues.
Here we go.
Notice the sound. It's a lot. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. If you are a person of faith and you are calling upon God, your source of strength and inspiration to help you, this is something that you're going to do private, right? No person of faith is going to display this, in this super dramatic, all this whispering, that's not authentic. It just is not. Like, that's very performative, and it's trying to show, like, I am a person of faith. I am struggling with this. Like, if you are truly struggling, and this is one thing that you will learn as an actor, a person who is truly struggling is always trying to hide it.
She ain't been to a black church lately. She ain't been to the Kojic church ever. We ain't never silent about that kind of stuff. Look, we gonna let it out, but we can't say this about her. I'm sorry, she's not Kojic. She ain't even Pentecostal, Southern Baptist Church. She ain't AME, CME, none of that. They ain't never been to the black church. We don't whisper. Hallelujah. No, we screaming. They ain't been to the black church.
That's what we do when we are truly struggling. We try our best to hide it. We don't put it on display. When this is
yes, we do.
The gesturing, when we gesture to, how we're feeling, or oh my God, and what am I gonna? This is all fake. Okay, you guys have to realize this. Like in your regular life, when you are dealing with people in your regular life that do this type of gesturing, just be aware that they are trying to manipulate you. Because
if she'd have popped out and said, and God said, I'd have known something was up. Okay, I'm gonna stop clowning.
that's all that is. A person who's truly struggling, you never even can tell because they are trying to hide it so much. So let's just go on. And also you notice the crackling sound, the background sound is just horrible and there's no real reason for it. So moving on.
Good evening.
Awful.
My name is Erica Kirk. Charlie Kirk is my husband. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice.
Brought to justice.
I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically.
Okay.
Ugly. The first responders didn't show up. I want to thank them for not showing up when they should have. Oh, I'm sorry. I just jumped forward. I'm sorry. Let me get back to where I was. Where was I? Okay, here we go. I'm sorry. I just
Notice the sound.
watch this. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. If you are a person of faith and you are calling upon God, your source of strength and inspiration to help you, this is an
Baptist
actor.
Church. Let's move on.
A person who is truly struggling is always trying to hide it.
No, we're not.
To, how we're feeling or, oh my God, and what am I going to, this is all fake. Okay, you guys have to realize this. Like in your regular life, when you are dealing with people in your regular life that do this type of gesturing, just be aware that they are trying to manipulate you because that's all that is. A person who's truly struggling, you never even can tell. Because they are trying to hide it so much.
No, she
so
wasn't.
let's just go on. And also you notice the crackling sound, the background sound is just horrible and there's no real reason for it. So moving on.
Good evening. My name is Erica Kirk. Charlie Kirk is my husband. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice. I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically.
Okay. This, again, is intolerable to me. I'm going to try to keep it together because I told you guys I would, give you all the tells.
This comedy.
Like that is inauthentic. That is performative. Okay. You don't, something that she does a lot in this video, she repeats words that she wants to really let you know that she's feeling. And that is, again, a device. A person who is being authentic is just going to say how they feel. And that's it. If they have to say thank you, they will. And it's just surprising to me, and I'll go into it later in this video, but that a person who has just gone through such a traumatic event, right? Not only was he her spouse, but even if he wasn't, let's pretend, being in a crowd and seeing someone get killed, right, in real time is an extremely traumatic event. This is not something that renders most people able to coherently give a 17-minute speech 2 days later. Most people will be very much unable even to process simple things because your mind is not working in the same way. Your prefrontal cortex has been shut down pretty much. It's been compromised because your amygdala is in overdrive.
Yes.
Your amygdala, which is like fight or flight, which are our emotions.
Yes.
The amygdala, when you see something like this, when you experience a sudden and severe trauma, your amygdala lights up.
Oh.
And when that happens, your prefrontal cortex shuts down. So all of your reasoning, your logic, all of this stuff just goes out the window. That's why a lot of people that go through stuff like this don't even know what time it is, what day it is. Things just lose meaning.
Yes.
But Erica is able not only to keep it together very well, considering, but she's actually being like coherent, and she's like listing all the first responders. And I'm not saying not to be grateful, but
where were they?
It's just like so over the top.
Where were they?
And I'm sorry for all that noise. It's just so over the top, ridiculous. Like it's stunning to me how I'm supposed to believe that this is a woman that just went through this type of trauma. So let's continue.
Yes.
Save Charles's life. And the police who acted bravely to make sure that there were no other victims on that terrible afternoon.
So bravely.
I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family.
I want you to notice how she said that, because her speech got very matter of fact. Like, our Turning Point family. Like, this is not a person, in my opinion, that is in shock. It just isn't. She's very composed.
She's interrupting my flow. Oh my goodness. Get on with it, lady. I'm trying to get through this. Oh.
And just let me see if I can replay it.
Yeah, replay it.
Victims on that terrible afternoon.
Yes.
Also, I want to say that terrible afternoon. So when investigators, for example, are interviewing a suspect or a possible suspect, right? One of the first things that they do is they try to distance themselves from what actually happened. So that terrible afternoon, not the day he got killed, right? So they try to minimize what actually happened, and they try to minimize also like their involvement in it. And sometimes they will even talk about themselves in third person. So everything's kind of like pushed away. So that terrible afternoon.
Part of it. I wasn't a part of it.
Well, I don't know, but I would think that it's more than just like terrible. Like, you lost your husband in this very tragic and violent way.
Yes.
Like, I think it goes beyond terrible, but why is she diminishing it?
It's awful.
Let's go on.
I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family.
See how matter of fact?
These past 2 days.
So matter of fact.
And I want to thank the Turning Point USA board.
The board.
The COO, Justin Strive.
I'm going to name everybody.
The COO, the board, this is what you're thinking of? This is what's on your head?
Yes, because
I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show.
Oh, he is so funny.
What is there to laugh about? I don't understand these reactions. These reactions are not congruent with what just happened. Not for a person who's in shock, not for a person who's in mourning. And I will address I know what you're thinking. I will address this later on. Let's just get through this somehow.
Who helped him broadcast from the studio, okay, gesturing. I told you guys, right? And it's right on cue. It's like from this.
Oh, I remember when he sat in that very chair.
It's, to me, repulsive. It is perverse what is happening here. So I am trying to keep it together. But this type of gesturing, looking over exactly on cue, on this, like, what is that? Like, what is that? This is so using devices for all this drama, for all this, like, I get so upset about this. But anyway, let's continue.
She is hilarious to me. She is pointing old girl out left and right. You see how it's almost like she's going to stroke the chair. I'm envisioning him right there in this chair. I can remember it as though it was yesterday. Oh my. Oh. She can process it. Her frontal lobe is shut down at this point. Yeah.
This chair. Every day he loved what he did.
Every day.
Every day.
I want to thank the millions of people who have shown.
Okay, I want you to notice how
switch.
quickly she turned,
Yes, she
right?
did.
Because she's going every day. Like she's so heartbroken. And immediately, it turns into every day. I want to thank.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. She was like, and every day. This is priceless.
Notice this. I'm going to rewind.
I want to thank the millions of people who have shown their
Let's do it
love
again.
for Charlie.
Notice how quickly she changes her demeanor and the tone of her voice on cue.
What he did. I want to thank the millions of people who have shown.
He loved what he did.
What he did.
I want to thank the million. Do you guys not see something wrong with this?
Absolutely.
Am I the only person here?
No.
I want to thank my husband's dear friend, Vice President Vance.
Okay, now we get to the political part. This is where she's going to go down the line of all the political people and everybody, you know, it's like this long list of name dropping and just all politics, right? So.
And his phenomenal wife, Usha.
Phenomenal.
For their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well, bringing him home.
Oh, yes, you did.
There's a question about that, and I know a lot of you have already raised it, but
wait a minute.
Even going back to like what she was saying about first responders, like
Discerning Age says, and the Oscar does not go to One-Eyed Lucy. Fonda says, this is killing me softly. Oh my God, this is priceless. This is so priceless. I love that jacket though. But other than that, really, this is hilarious.
Why wasn't there an ambulance there? Any event that has so many people, like things can happen. There was no ambulance there. He was taken to a not the nearest hospital. Like there's a lot of weird stuff going on here, but I just want you to take notice of that. Let's keep going.
You both are tremendous.
Oh my God.
I want to thank President Trump.
She did it again. Did you notice?
I didn't even hear
it. Tremendous. I want to thank President Trump. You guys, this is not a genuine emotion. This is not a person who is genuinely feeling what they are saying. I'm going to replay it because this has to be replayed.
Phenomenal wife.
Because they will manipulate you.
For their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well, bringing him home. You both are tremendous.
Watch.
Tremendous.
I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President.
Oh, look how she lit up when she said
my
that.
husband loved you.
My husband loved you.
I'm not.
Especially when I was not in the room with him. My husband loved you until I told him that I knew you first. Okay, that was genuine. Okay.
So many videos have been made to mock her, but it just notice that she's making all the faces, but no tears are coming out, you guys. Like she's grimacing. She's like, but nothing is coming out of her eyes. You get it? I know a lot of you are going to have a hard time with this video. And like I said, I'm not trying to change your mind.
No.
But
you don't have to.
Be cognizant, because people use this BS on you all the time to manipulate you, to get you to do things for them and get you to believe certain things. And it's all BS. And I know that you're good people, and that's why you don't want to think that a widow is capable of doing this and you're trying to make excuses for her and all the rest of it. But there is just no way that a person who is genuine is going to make all of these without a tear. Come on. Like, she's not crying. I just want you to notice she's making the face, but she's not crying.
And he knew that you loved him too. He did. Your friendship was amazing.
More whispering.
You supported him so.
Your friendship was amazing. You see, it's like all on cue. It's like okay, and a good actor will be able to say your friendship was amazing, like without it being like on a word, right?
Priceless.
She's not a good actor. She's trying to act. She's acting, but she's not good at it. But just keep in mind, and that's the first dry eye, thing that she does. She's going to keep doing it.
Well, as did he for you. Now and for all eternity.
Wait a minute. Whoa. What did I just see? What did I just see? Did I see a little snippet of editing in that video? Wait a minute. Let me see here. Hi, Black Lion. How you doing, love? Y'all watched for this. There is a brief jump
on a word, right? She's not a good actor. She's trying to act. She's acting, but she's not good at it. But just keep in mind, and that's the first dry eye, thing that she does. She's going to keep doing it.
Well, as did he for you.
Did you see that?
Now and for all eternity, he will.
Did you see that? They at some point in time, they stopped this video. It's a very brief edit. You seen it? I'm gonna play it again. It was a video cut. Here we go. Uh-oh, I went too far. Dadgummit. Wait a minute. Where was I? Okay, she's touching the chair. Okay, maybe this is it.
Whispering.
You supported him so.
Your friendship was amazing.
Okay.
Now and for all eternity, he will stand
on a word, right? She's not a good actor. She's trying to act. She's acting, but she's not good at it. But just keep in mind, and that's the first dry eye, thing that she does. She's going to keep doing it.
Pay attention, y'all.
Well, as did he for you. Now and for all eternity, he will stand at his Savior's side, wearing the glorious crown of a martyr.
I take issue with this, and I'll tell you why. Charlie didn't have the choice to be a martyr. He didn't have that choice.
No.
Right? He was killed. He didn't have the choice. He was like the choice to do something, to give up your life or not or whatever. That choice was taken from him because this came out of nowhere. He was out in an event with security, I'm sure trusting that they had swept the buildings, that everything was secure.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't the only person to see that. This was a scripted, planned out, edited, poorly acted announcement of some kind. this is getting cornier by the moment. Her acting just sucks big time. I'm hearing vacuum sounds. It sucks so bad.
That everybody was going to do their jobs and that everything would be fine. But saying that he's a martyr automatically, it changes the narrative, right? So now if he's a martyr, we can just look at him that way and we don't have to ask so many questions anymore, you guys. He laid down his own life on purpose. He was killed, but you know, he willingly went. No, he did not. He did not willingly go.
No, he did not. Now, listen, I brought that break in that video up for one reason and one reason only, to show you, and I saw that with one eye. But wait a minute. That means that she's standing at that podium, going through her acting motions. Oh, you've been wonderful. And wait a minute. Stop. Wait. I didn't get that right. Let's back up a little bit. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what that jump was for. He forgot to pull the tear duct strings. Thank you. Thank you, Weeby. Point blank, period. Wiping dry eyes at the memorial as well. But this video here is so indicative of how played out this is. She's dabbing at one dry eye, not two. That's why I put a patch up on this one. But she's dabbing at one eye. And you see the video jump because she had been rehearsing and got to a point where, oh, that's not how I wanted it to go. Stop. Okay, where did I leave out? Where did I leave off? Okay. You were so amazing. Bloody, 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 blah. Rehearsal. It jumped. Rehearsal. This wasn't straight through. Wow.
He had no choice. But she's coloring it in a way that makes anyone watching this believe that he voluntarily gave up his life, and he didn't. This is not fair. He had no choice.
He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. Want me to say go Ducks, so.
Okay, not only is that all this laughing and giggling super bizarre, and again, not something that a person who is in shock would do.
Thinking back to the old days.
But you know the schedule for the Ducks? Like, you remember that? After what you just went through, after what you just saw?
Who gives a
you remember that?
The Ducks.
This goes to show, it shows me clear as day. And I'll tell you, because, you know, a lot of times you can tell what a person is, when a person is pretending, when a person is lying, when a person is just going through the motions, because a person that has gone through the trauma that she just went through would not have remembered the Ducks or even the Ducks existed.
Nor would I give two damns about the Ducks. Let's find out what happened to my husband. Retreader says, okay, now I understand your acting. I was acting. I wasn't. I was being a bad actress. But she's definitely playing this out badly. Not convincing. Wow.
And that's just the truth. And if you don't believe me, look it up, or else I can do another video on it, because that would make this one way too long.
I have to, since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks.
Unbelievable.
And he loved me.
He loved me.
With all of his heart. And I knew that. Every day I knew that. He made sure I knew that every day.
Every day.
Every day he would ask me, how can I?
Every day she repeats it like 4 or 5 times. again, with the repetition, I just take note.
Charlie always said that if he ever ran for office, I know a lot of you asked if he ever was going to, but privately.
Second time. Notice, because I counted like 7 times that she in total tissues her dry eyes, but it's always the same eye. Take a notice. Just look.
Told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. One of Charlie's favorite Bible verses was Ephesians.
Did you see the other jump? Okay, let's look at the other jump again. Let's see if you see it. I just seen another jump.
Take a notice. Just look.
Told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. One of Charlie's favorite Bible verses was Ephesians 5, verse 25.
2 jumps.
Gesturing. Ephesians 5:25. she doesn't know how to act. She's trying to, but she doesn't know how to.
My husband laid down his life for me.
His life for me.
For our nation.
For our nation.
For our children.
For our children. That I'm
Again,
with right
he didn't
now.
lay his life down. He wasn't given that choice. It was taken from him. So.
Where are the children? He laid his life down for me. And for our children, where are they at? Honey, where's the kids? Somebody get my kids. Where's the kids? I don't know where they are. Okay. I'll find them eventually.
I will never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart.
Oh.
She won't have the words. No, but words are cheap, right?
Yeah.
Actions speak louder than words. And I can see with my own 2 eyes, and I hope you guys can too, that she is not being a genuine, authentic, sorrowful person. I don't know why, but it's clear. It's like if you have eyeballs, you can see it. She's not being real. None of this is real.
Oh, my life, my head.
Charlie, baby, I know you do too. I know you do. So does our Lord. And our world is filled with.
Okay, notice once again. I know you do. In our world, like this is not natural, you guys. This is all acting. I would be curious to see the paper, the script. It probably doesn't even exist anymore, but I guarantee you that every cue was written out for her. Like, this is where you pat. This is where you whisper. This is where you now change tone. Like, you go from this to this. Like, because that is not a natural progression. Human beings have to experience the entire emotion as it goes through, and then it will change into something else, but it takes a beat. It doesn't take like a cue.
Yeah.
But let's just watch that part again.
She had to cut it again. Let's see if she can do it again.
I know you do. So does our Lord. And our world is filled with evil.
Filled with evil.
I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married.
No snot.
3rd time. Again, same eye. Watch.
I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married.
Told you.
To start families. The evildoers.
The evildoers.
Responsible for my husband's assassination. Have no idea.
Okay, I have to stop it right there because she's going to say she's going to say no idea like 10 times. And it's this repetition that is so performative.
It's filling.
No one speaks this way. No one is genuinely going to express themselves this way. You can say to someone, you have no idea, right? Because you mean it. But when you're trying to show that you mean it, then you'll employ devices like this. This is really bad acting. But notice how many times she says, you have no idea. She already said it once.
They have done.
You have no idea.
If you thought
there's another
that
jump.
my husband's mission was powerful before, You have no idea.
Three.
No idea.
You have no idea what you just have unleashed
no
across
idea.
this entire country
Four.
No idea.
and this world. You have no idea.
You have
Five.
No idea.
You have no idea the fire that you have
Six.
ignited within this wife.
Okay.
With it,
This
not
wife.
as much
Again,
as CO.
this is putting her,
Wait. You told Harpo to beat me. You have no idea that I can perform better than that girl over there named Candace. You have no idea. She may be outperforming me right now, but you have no idea. You have no idea the spark you've let out in this wife. Where's the kids? Where'd they go? Cut. Cut. Okay, we'll say that over. Man, miss me, chick.
what she is trying to do is to
This woman.
kind of give herself a different, yes, she's his wife, but she says this wife, not me, right? Me is me. But this wife, it becomes a persona. This persona is being created right here. So you can see it. This wife.
This wife that isn't going after who did this to my husband more than his friend. This wife. Who this woman? She probably says that about Candace. Harpo, who this woman? Where the kids? I used to hear them around here all the time. Where'd they go? Y'all see my kids? Y'all see my kids? Where my kids at? Oh, I'll catch them later. I got more to say.
This widow, because that is what is going to conjure up in the audience tropes. Now, these tropes are usually the warrior or some mythological something where, it gets everybody excited and, oh yes, I remember this is what she is now. She's not Erica Kirk. She's not me. It's this wife. She's creating a persona. Just watch.
The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
Battle cry. So we're in war. Do you see where I'm going with this?
We're at war.
To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die.
No,
it won't.
It won't.
I refuse to let that happen. It will not die.
It will not die.
She's making a lot of grimaces, but there's no tears. There's no tears. Like,
all of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. Our campus tour this fall will continue.
okay, now she gets into Turning Point USA's whole schedule and how nothing's changed and everything will remain the same and all the events are still going to take place. And she goes into this weird, in my opinion, diatribe about getting people to sign up and young people to sign up and just come to the events. Like, why? I just don't understand. There is not a world where knowing what I know about psychology and human behavior, that this makes any sense or this looks like a person who's in grieving. A person who is in mourning is not going to be able, okay? Maybe someone else from Turning Point would be able to say this stuff, like, make sure you guys join. We're still gonna have our events. We're still gonna do this, because they're a little bit more removed.
Another person at Turning Point could get away with cut 4, 2, 3, 4. This is supposed to be a speech about your husband. Did you see him, Fonda? Where they at? I've been looking for them for days now. Where they been? Oh, cut. Let's try that again.
From the actual event, from actual Charlie's death. But this is his widow. This is his widow promoting Turning Point. And you can say, oh, because she wants to make sure. Yeah, of course she wants to make sure. That's why you delegate that. When you're in mourning, you delegate that responsibility to someone else. I mean, just take a look at, like, even in the news when, you know, God forbid, but a family is going, you know, their child is missing or whatever. Sometimes they can't keep it together. So their lawyer will say, you know, the family would like to ask anybody that, you know, that has any information, because they can't talk, they can't speak, they can't communicate. That they're grieving. They're grieving.
And she done took 4 takes. And it wasn't for grieving. Cut. I need 10 minutes. I need some water. Let me get some. Pass me some water. Yeah. No, give me a beer. No, I'm not supposed to drink that on camera. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's go.
And so, yeah, it's totally fine for her to still want his work to move on and legacy and all that. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is that she herself is doing it. She herself has enough presence of mind to promote Turning Point USA at this particular moment in time, and to do so in such a composed and calculated manner.
Right.
Okay. So just keep that in mind.
The radio and podcast show that he was so proud of.
Again, gesturing. Again with the touching of the chair.
Pretending
like,
he's there in the chair.
I can't. I hope you guys can see this.
Will go on. If you want to get involved, the best way you can do that is going to tpusa.com.
5 jump.
That's what he would say every day from this chair. Every single day.
This is so blatant. It's so like self-promoting. I'm so disgusted by this. I can't even I'm really, really controlling myself, you guys, but this is so disgusting to me. And I hope that you guys can see through this.
I do.
I hope, I really, truly, or else we're toast.
I watched his show every day, and he would always say, if you want to get involved, go to tpusa.com.
Again with the chair.
If you're a pastor, join our movement at TPUSA Faith. And if you're a parent, I highly recommend that you come to America Fest in December.
She's so composed, right? So composed. I'm sure she's beside herself.
Promoting.
Sign up right now for that, because we would love to see you. He wanted everyone to know that if they confess the Lord Jesus Christ who rose from the dead, then they will be saved.
I believe that too, but what's up with all this grimacing? Where are the tears?
I know my husband is still here.
Again, told you. Look.
He's watching over us.
Same eye, always the same eye.
I don't remember the last time I slept.
Okay,
that was bullshit.
What?
That was bullshit right there.
Oh, Charlie, I love you. I love you, baby.
I love you, baby.
Gigi, our daughter just ran into my arms.
Gigi, when? Where's she at?
God bless you all. And may God bless America.
Boo.
There you have it.
Boo.
There you have it.
Walk off the stage. You suck.
I mean,
you suck.
Everyone grieves differently. Yeah, for sure they do. Some withdraw while others lash out. Some turn to drugs and alcohol while others avoid any reminder of their loss. What they don't do is whatever that was. Compare Erica Kirk's reaction to Jackie Kennedy's somber grace or Coretta Scott King's profound grief. That says it all. I won't go into her speech at Charlie's memorial because it's intolerable and it's just more of the same. The whole event was spectacle, stunningly inappropriate, garish, and vulgar, or as Joan Didion would say, so explicit as to suggest nothing beyond itself. A mockery of what a memorial should be, reverent and genuine. Hollow eulogies conjured images of martyrs and saints, of wars and calls to action, language meant to stir the crowd and bury their doubts in emotional distractions. Just notice the reaction when Erica said,
I forgive him.
Forgive.
The message was crystal clear. Let bygones be bygones. And more importantly, stop asking questions. And for some, it worked. One netizen commented, what you see is a woman who has been transformed from a wife and mother to a Valkyrie.
Huh? Not just unpopular, but incorrect. What you see is a woman full of the Holy Spirit who has been transformed from a wife and mother to a Valkyrie, a shield maiden who has strapped on the shield of faith and the sword of the Word of God and stepped into the great conflict. But your husband was still oft in front of you, and you are human. That's where she threw up them horns. Ooh, wee. Uh-oh.
Yeah, sure. Maybe. Maybe she is a Valkyrie. Or maybe she's just a widow whose bizarre behavior is sounding alarms that something's definitely off. And the only thing that's been transformed is your ability to think for yourself. See, this is what happens when manipulators invoke mythological tropes and tap into your psyche. You no longer see them as they are, but as they want to be seen. You no longer see the situation as it obviously is, but in a way that's more palatable, maybe more dramatic, more enticing, and closer to what you'd rather believe. Give them bread and circuses, and they will never revolt. And that's exactly what this was. A circus, mounted with all the flair of a Vegas show to entertain and distract, full of dramatic devices and false sentiment, but bereft of all solemnity and respect. So to answer the question, in my opinion, she's faking it. And it's disturbing to see that no one in Charlie's inner circle, not his friends and colleagues at Turning Point, not his family or his parents, and not even his wife, is expressing any sign that they genuinely mourn his loss. Charlie wasn't perfect, but he deserved better. See you in the next vid.
Wow. That was deep. That was deep. She told the truth. She know what she talking about. She said everything we would like to say and more. And I probably would say more because I'd be like, you lying ass. Please, set your ass down, please. She just a big old heifer. No, I'm just kidding. Use wisdom. Oh my God. I'm convinced that there is definitely something rotten in the what do they call it? Something smelling in the land of Denmark or whatever. But yeah, that was spot on. Old girl been fake and phony from the giddy up. And every time she gets up behind a camera and a microphone, she proves our point. Every single time. So, to be seen. To be continued. Exactly, Barbara. Exactly. Well, y'all, we done hit the 3-hour mark, and I think it's about time to shut this bad boy down. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show, and I will be back tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I might just take me a little trip, where tonight. If I do, just keep your eyes open for your notifications. Oh, I can imagine she was worse at the funeral. I couldn't stomach the funeral. I couldn't. Oh my goodness. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming tonight. I'm about to hit the bricks. I'm going to get to this casino and see what I can get into. Because that took a lot out of me to watch that nonsense. So anyway, y'all stay tuned. If y'all want to join me, I'll go live. In the meantime, I love y'all. Y'all take it easy. And I'll see you when I see you. Good night.
Thanks for staying close through thick and thin. Just stuck around, let the journey begin. Every like, every comment, you light up my day. Your loyalty's a gift I won't take away. From dawn to dusk, you've been my kinfolk crew. This song's for you, for everything you do. We grow together through highs and lows. Your support is the wind that makes me glow. With every single view, you lift me higher. Your love and dedication fuels my fire. Here's to my loyal kinfolk, my shining stars. Together we're championing near and far. This is our moment, our family story to tell. Thank you for being so real. You make my heart swell. No distance could ever break this bond. You trust, your love, forever fun. As I close this chapter with gratitude, this outro's for you, my kinfolk. So stay tuned, keep dreaming, we'll soar anew. I'm forever grateful for all of you. Until next time, keep shining bright, loyal friends and kinfolk. Good night. Oh.